Good afternoon. We start with the coronavirus outbreak as the number of people infected in the UK has doubled. Globally, the virus has infected more than 40,000 people and companies are racing to develop solutions to tackle its spread. Well, here in the UK, shares of Novocyte Group have shot up by nearly 400% this year after the company said it was developing a test to identify this specific strain of the virus. Well, here to tell me more about it is Paul Eros, he's Business Development Director. Paul, welcome to you. So what does this product do and how's it used?
So basically, Ian, what we have is we've designed a test that looks at the genes in the coronavirus. And it's a very specific test to look at a specific sequence within this strain of coronavirus that is causing the current outbreak.
So this is molecular biography. You've mapped the gene in the coronavirus.
So what we've done is we've taken the genetic information, the latest sequence information, and we've looked at a specific region of the coronavirus gene that we can target and we can look at to be very specific in terms of the identification of the coronavirus that's causing this outbreak. And that's called the novel coronavirus.
So that allows you to detect whether a patient has contracted the virus?
Correct.
Right. And at the moment, this isn't being used for diagnostic purposes. This is only once someone presents themselves at surgery or clinic?
So what we've done is we've very rapidly developed this test in a matter of weeks. We've put this test out initially as a research use only product. And what that's allowing physicians and authorities to do is track the development of the virus and the spread of the virus through an epidemiological process. We are currently undergoing regulatory approval for the test to allow the test to be used in specific diagnostic situations.
Yeah, I think on Friday you said that you were seeking from the US FDA, you wanted them to fast track approval. What's the latest on that?
So the US FDA have something called emergency use application. And because this is a public health epidemic, they're allowing companies to fast track through this process. So we've actually started that process with the FDA. It's a very prescriptive process that you have to go through, but it allows you to get your product into the hands of clinicians much more quickly than the normal process. So it expedites use of the test in a clinical setting.
And why go to the FDA first? Presumably there are other regulators as well that you've spoken to.
So there are. So in Europe, we have something called CE-IVD. And that is a process, a regulatory process that allows you to put in vitro diagnostic products onto the market for clinical use. We are also going through that process as well. And we expect that we will have CE-IVD approval in very short order.
And how effective is this test, I mean, in terms of detecting this strain?
So when you look at the strain specifically, the Wuhan novel coronavirus strain, it is different to other coronaviruses that are out there. What we were at pains to do was to design a test that was very specific for this novel coronavirus strain. If you look at some of the tests that are out there, they're not as accurate, not as specific. And that's what we were at pains to do, make the test specific, make the test very accurate, and make the test as sensitive as we could.
And how does it work then? You take a sample from the patient, a blood sample, and...
No, it's basically a respiratory sample.
Right.
So it's sputum or a swab. The physician will take that sample. They'll then extract the nucleic acid. And basically what they're doing is they're breaking open the cells, taking all of the nucleic acid out of the cells. And then what they're looking for is they're looking for the specific nucleic acid that is specific for the coronavirus.
And how quickly do you turn around the result?
So currently, we can get the result turned around within 2 hours. In our latest development, we're trying to increase that speed. And at the moment, our scientists are working on the process to make that a quicker test.
And how do you get it out to the physicians?
So basically what we have is we have a worldwide network of distributors. and we are able to sell the product to the clinicians through that network of distributors as well as through our direct sales organization.
Now, clearly, you're a business. You're in the world of profit making. I mean, what is the potential profitability of this test if you can get it used for diagnostic purposes?
So obviously, yes, we are a commercial organization. At this moment in time, what we're focused on is getting that test out there because of the fact that this is potentially a humanitarian crisis. At this moment in time, I can't give you the exact profitability numbers on this test. Suffice to say that we have had queries from over 30 different countries in relation to this test and already have orders in hand.
And if it's used, if you do get permission for it to be used in diagnosis, does that reduce quarantine times potentially?
I don't think so. I think what it enables clinicians to do is identify rapidly those individuals that have the virus and then be able to bring into play health regimes to control the spread of the virus. So, whereas we've seen on various different news reports, people in China being locked in their houses, I think we can be very specific here and we can say these are the people that we need to quarantine, and then the health authorities are in a much better position to respond by various different means.
Briefly, Paul, were you surprised at how quickly your team was able to turn around this test and come up with a test?
In all honesty, no. It's something that we do. Down in our facility in Southampton, we have a highly skilled team of PhD scientists. They have responded very rapidly previously to crises. So they developed a test for H1N1 very quickly. They've developed tests for Ebola. And it's something that we do very, very well within the group.
All right, Paul Eros. Very busy time for you. Appreciate you sparing a bit of it to talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.